Hello and welcome to another episode on the Elite Show. I'm your host Miriam Elias. Today we have a very interesting topic for you, which is things our parents did that was right, but we wish they did it differently. This topic is a very important one. We all know that whatever our parents did while we were younger was for our own good, but today we'll be looking at how else they should have done it or the method they should have used. Elijah and Natalia will give us a better knowledge on this. But before we proceed, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Glad to have you back. Could you please take a moment to introduce yourselves better?
Okay, my name is Samuel Elijah, and I'm a student of American Institute of Africa.
Good day, everyone. My name is Clement Atalia, and I'm a student of Adeleke University.
We're glad to have you on our show today.
Yeah.
All right, Elijah, what did your parents do that was right but could have used a different system or method? What I'm trying to say is, looking back at your upbringing and your childhood, what are the things your parents did that you appreciate and that seemed very useful to you? But looking back at it now, you feel like they should have used a different way, like they should have done it in a different way. Like, I want to hear your perspective on that.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a wonderful topic, and I'm so glad to be here this morning.
Thank you.
While growing up, it was a kind of difficult for me because I got to a point in my life where I am the kind of child who is very brilliant while growing up, and at a certain stage I began to see myself in my academics. I began to draw back, so it became a worry for my parents. I didn't understand that it was a worry to them because most times when I come back with my results to the house, my mom would be like, "You are always taking last in the class. What is going on? You're always taking last." And my siblings, they'll be using it to mock me. People around me, they'll be like, anytime I bring my result, they say, "Yeah, yes, he's taking last. We know his position already. There's no point in him showing us the result." It was actually traumatizing because I felt my parents, they would have done it better. They would have explained to me better why I should take my academics serious, not mocking me and making me feel unaccepted or making me feel otherwise. Yes.
Alright. Is that all?
Yes.
Thank you. Natalia, please, yours.
So I think mine would be about emotional attachment
Okay.
because when I was young, I was sent off to boarding school at an early age. I went to boarding school when I was in primary 4. So I tend to do things on my own now because till I graduated and now I'm schooling in Oshun, I don't really have that emotional attachment with anyone. I'm used to being on my own. So even now, when I'm on break, I just want to stay in my room. I don't want to communicate with anyone. And I feel my mom did it for the right reasons because she was busy and stuff. But like, I just feel she would have asked how I felt about it, about being in boarding school at that age and how I'm coping now.
So she did not like.
No, she did it for the right reasons, and she's a very busy person, and it's just her soul. To find time and sit us down to ask, "Oh, how are you doing? How are you
Yeah.
coping?" There was never a room for that. So now I'm just used to it.
All right. What would you do differently if you were in their shoes, Natalia?
What would I do differently? So first of all, I don't think if I was in her shoes, I don't think I would have sent myself to a boarding school.
Yourself?
Or my child.
Exactly.
It's a boarding school at
Too
primary
early.
4. It's too early. Or at least whenever my child would have come back on holiday, I would have had a one-on-one conversation. Because first of all, I was sent to a boarding school to stay with adults because obviously those people would have matured. They were more mature than me.
Yes.
So I learned things at the age I think I was not supposed to learn. So I would have called the child to ask, "Oh, how are you doing? How are you actually doing and faring in that kind of environment at that age?"
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I know she did it for the right reasons, but there would have just been a different approach.
Towards it.
Yes. So
All right. Elijah, yours.
Okay, very importantly, I will definitely want to bring it up in this angle because as a child then I never understood what result was because most of my mates, we just feel that okay, we go to school, they give us result and we bring back to our parents to see what we have done in school.
yeah.
Okay, coming back to my parents and they are giving me the attitude that okay, you're always carrying last in
I've done
class.
better.
That's is not given, is not supposed to be so. It will make me as a student not to concentrate, number one. It will get me thinking, because I won't be able to do the things I'm supposed to do, or even stand in front of my mates to talk.
To
Do
not
you understand?
give you enough confidence.
Yes,
to be who
because
you are.
anytime I go back home with my results, I have this feeling that I know what they are
They're
going
going
to
to be
say.
scared.
Whether the result has improved or
Or
not,
not,
they
yeah.
just feel that, okay, I'm going to take class. That is their mentality. So as to being on in their shoe, I would like to say, I would like to make my child understand that, first of all, what is causing your distraction? What is the issue? What is going on with you? Because as a child, you should have some things that are bothering you.
Yeah.
Maybe you might have a bully in school. He's making you not to
Exactly.
concentrate. A lot of parents don't actually sit their children down to ask
Have
them
that kind of
questions,
conversation
how
with
they
them.
are feeling in school.
And
There
so,
might
yeah.
be a teacher who is not teaching you well or threatening you
Yes.
because of one thing or the other. So
Like I
therefore,
always say, there is a difference between how are you and how is school. You're
That's
asking
it.
me how is school, but you're not asking me
How are you?
How am
Exactly.
I? Like how am I actually faring? Do you
It's true.
The
understand?
child
It's
might
true.
be going through a lot at the
Exactly.
moment.
So at that point, your mental health is at stake. Your mental thinking capacity, everything is just at stake. So I will call you, ask you what the problem is, where are you having challenges, what is the issue, find out from you what is giving you that fear, what is making you to perform this way in your academics. By the time you sit a child down and try to relate as a friend and a parent to that child, there's no way they won't open up to you. So that is why most students today and most children today, they don't draw close to their parents, because most times when they want to talk to their parents, or when they are looking for an opportunity of who to talk
The
to or
parents
who
are
to
not always
rely,
there.
they are
That's why I
not
say I
there.
grew up consuming
They
things
don't
by
give them that
myself. Like
opportunity.
you can
Tell
get me
people.
angry and I won't say it. Like I suck up emotions and stuff. Like I remember, I think I did not enter university. Like I waited at home for 1 year. Like because I was young actually, very young. So I just waited for 1 year before going to the higher institution the next day. And I enjoyed the bond that I was going with my mom already. So when I got admission to the Adeleke University, which is in Osun, I cried. I did not want to go because I was like, is there no any other university in Abuja?
Exactly.
Because I started enjoying that bond. But they took me to Osun again, so now I'm just like, don't worry, I'm good. I'm good living on my own.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughtful response. Let's go on another break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is the Elite Show, and our topic for today is things our parents did that was right, but we feel they should have done it differently. We'll be moving to our final question for the day, which is, what do you think we can learn from our parents' experiences and apply to our own lives?
Very important. There are a lot of things I as a person have learned a lot from my parents, because back then growing up I was thinking they were actually wicked to some extent. To some extent I was thinking maybe they didn't like me, because I watched them talk to my siblings in some certain ways that I didn't like. I was not thinking it was right for them to do it, most especially in front of the young ones. So I believe whatsoever they did was actually right, and I've learned a lot from them. Most times I feel that when they want to talk to you, they want to correct you, they do it properly, they do it in a way and manner whereby you will be able to absorb those instructions and those corrections from them. Not necessarily shouting at you in public. That's one thing my
Yeah.
parents never did. My mom cannot shout out to you in public, or even raising her hand to beat you. Do you understand? So while growing up, I saw these things from my parents, and I am so glad that it is very difficult for me to look at a person, no matter who you are, and insult you in public, or want to embarrass you in public. I used to tell people that anything you want to do, don't embarrass me. That is the kind of person I am, because I won't take it lightly.
Yes.
It's just that my parents, it's like they knew, and they were able to help me grow without them making me feel inferior in front of people. So that is one thing I must acknowledge that I learned from them. Not allowing people to look down on me or talk down on me whenever I'm in public.
Yeah.
Because when parents do that, a lot of children, they will not have this self-confidence.
Yeah, they'll have low self-esteem.
Do you understand? So they gave me that respect, most times, even if I'm wrong, they will take me home to address the issue.
Okay.
All right, that's a good one. Atalia, yours.
So I'll first of all say in everything there's always a disadvantage
Yeah.
and advantage. So now I'm actually grateful to my mom because I can live on my own. Like I can do things by myself without act like I'm very independent without asking for someone's help and stuff. But like if I was in her shoes, I don't think I'll send of anybody to a boarding school
At
that
that age.
at that age. If I was in her
That's true.
shoes, I'll also establish a really great communication system
Yeah.
with my child.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I feel like communication is key to everything. Like there's also a friend of mine. When she was younger, her parents usually have issues in front of her, and it has really messed up with her now. She doesn't speak to anybody and stuff. So the day she actually had the opportunity to sit down and talk with her dad, the dad apologized, and I am grateful for the kind of person he is, because not all parents will apologize to you.
Sure.
Because immediately
Yes.
she told him how she felt, he said, "I am sorry." Some
Oh,
parents will try to
African
be
parents.
defensive,
It's true.
try to show you that you cannot tell me that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Exactly. But he understood her that moment, and he told her he was sorry, and I really liked that. And he made her cry. They opened up to each other on things they've both done to each other's mental health or something that day.
How would you rate the closeness that you have with your parents?
As at then, I wasn't close to my parents. Sorry to say, because most times I feel that, what am I going to tell them? What are we
Yeah.
going to talk about?
Exactly.
Even if we're talking, won't they shout at me?
Exactly.
And that made me, to talk to them about anything was an issue. I used to feel that, what if I say this thing now, she'll just raise her hand and hit me
Come on, get out.
because we are at home. Do
Yeah.
you understand? So it made me to be a little bit far from them. I wasn't communicating. The only person I was feeling I will be close to was my mom, because there was a time something happened to me. I wanted to go and draw tattoo in my hand as young as I was. And
Tattoo.
then yes, we were using this cashew nuts to draw the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand? So the thing created a big wound in my body then, because I didn't do it, so I just used the tattoo to scatter my body, the cashew to scatter my body. And I was so scared to talk to my mom about it. When they asked me, I told them it was fire. How will fire burn
burn
you
you.
here at this part of your body? To just tell my mom that it was fire, it got to a point I knew that I cannot keep up to this thing again, because the wound was actually big.
Oh,
So I had
okay.
to tell my mom, I said, this is it, this is what I did, this is what I did. And funny enough, she didn't shout
react,
at me.
Yeah.
She didn't react.
Most of the times, the way we expect them to react,
Yes,
they don't react that
they
way.
don't. They don't. That's just the So she just told me, why did you do it? Why will you tell us that it is fire and you know what happened to you? I just said, Mommy, I'm sorry. This is it. This is it. And she said, it's okay. And that was the point when she said, okay, go to the hospital, go to the
Yes.
hospital, treat yourself and make sure you are okay and stuff like that.
All right. So yeah, how would you rate your closeness with your parents?
So if you asked me this question when I was much younger, I would have said 5, but over 10. But now that I feel like I'm not an adult, but at least I'm close to being an adult, and I understand like why she did everything she did and why she's still doing what she's doing. I'll say 8. 8 over 10 is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being open and sharing your thoughts. Really appreciate.
Thank you for having me.
We've come to the end of today's episode. See you next week. Bye.